I need to... Oh, welcome. Right. Let's see. I need to do a couple more stuff. This is why we're in the waiting room. There we go. Alright. Good to see you guys. I know this was, fairly, I guess I let you know, like, yesterday, yesterday on Discord. Yeah, you're right. It's been a week or so. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not gonna be able to have time like every week. Also, there wasn't much really to talk about really to begin with. Wasn't much happening. But now, today is special, and I'll get into that. Let's see. I saw the counter go up pretty high for me. But I think you guys are just the only ones talking. But I super appreciate it. It's nice full circle with you guys. So thank you so much. But I think we'll get into it. In just a bit. How's the music audio? What is it? I didn't really do any didn't do any tests, so I'll try and speak up louder as well. But if it's like super loud or something, I can fix it then. Audio's good? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm because I just rushed home from work I finished at 4, so I had to really rush home and like say like, okay, I gotta get my whole stream set up in this amount of time. Boop boop. Alrighty, let's start the next song. There we go. Alrighty. So yeah, welcome guys. Hello. Star Cookie Legit and Deadpool. Welcome. Am I on? Good. Alright. How we doing? Yeah. Today is the 9th year and 1 day. I kind of missed it by 1 day. Sorry. I actually got a comment yesterday from someone, a YouTube comment, that was like, happy 9th video anniversary yesterday. And I was like, oh yeah. I always thought it was the 13th, but if we actually go to it, see if we can pull that up. Hopefully if I don't do anything wrong here. Yeah, I've always taken that the live animation, this was just plenty movie. It was such a test. It was just a nothing. Where to try to let go was also a nothing. But this is the one that I always say like, this is it. That's it. Yep, that's the whole animation. She just kind of just flops over, and this is the highest quality. It's somehow rendered at 240p back in 2013, and it is April 12th, so my bad. Oh well, it's close enough. Actually yesterday I wasn't quite in the right everything. I wasn't in the right mood and everything to have this all set up, so I'm doing it now. But yeah, we're celebrating the 9th year on my YouTube. So what I like to do is on these streams, turn it down on my end. For these anniversary streams, I like to go through each video and kind of explain my process of how I came up with it. So I've actually gone through a whole bunch of these over the last couple of years, so you'll have to go find those streams, which I think they're all unlisted, so you like have to find it on your own. So sorry about that. But I think we actually got pretty far. We're all the way down. We already did like a whole year's worth. We watched these. I watched last year, so I know where we ended. We ended on Derpy Phenomena. So, yeah, how we're going to do this is that I'll probably just, I got everything open on Flash, and so I'll just kind of just go through it and explain my thought process. But if you guys have any comments about anything, you're free to share your experiences, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna be the gist of this stream. Is yeah, I'm gonna look through my old videos and reminisce. Yeah, so some of these videos actually got pretty popular for even the time. Yeah, it's so weird having like a 4,000 view and then like, you know, a couple months later you have 116,000. It's like I don't know. The ones that I'm more proud of get less, but then you know how it is. Let's see. Where's my button? Way over here. Hello. Good morning. I know that it's good night for Cookie. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about these couple videos here. Let's just jump into it. So I've already queued all of the flash files, so I can just go ahead and get on with it, I guess. Oh boy. Hello cartoons, welcome. I'm gonna go through my old videos. So I think, yeah, what would these be? These would be 7 years ago. So what actually date was it? Doesn't tell me what day it was. April 22nd, 2014. Ooh, this is actually almost a year, almost at the anniversary of this one too. Yeah, so 2014, 7 years ago. Jeez. Alrighty. But yeah, here's the flash file. Let me see as well. Should have been a little bit more prepared for this, sorry. I'm just gonna make sure. Okay. Looks like, I'm trying to remember how it's been so long. Okay, yeah, so I set them up into different scenes in Flash. So this will be fun. I'm trying to remember how I set this all up. I remember this. Instead of having a storyboard, it's basically just like a whole bunch of, it was like a shopping list of like start house. I was like trying to just ramble through it and try to make up a whole bunch, come up with the actual story. This was the way that I wrote out the story, was just kind of writing it out. I remember that, yeah. I make these text files and then put them in here, and then I'd make these different scenes and then just kind of like go through it and check them off and go like, okay, tree try to live, got it. Okay, next one. And so these would be different shots and scenes, and then trying to figure it out from there. So there's a lot more loose and lot less structured than what I am now, while being super precise of like measuring 5 times before I do anything. But yeah, so here we go. So yeah, what I probably should also mention is that the puppets, when I was working during this time, was all Double Rainbow. So Double Rainbow was like a 2013-ish video from that time. I don't know where I was going with that. So they created the puppets, they created the artwork, they created the layers and how it's set up, of how complex it is. Look, she got a hat. And so all I've done really is just kind of doing the motion design of it. So I didn't design the horse and the puppet itself, but I had to do everything in here. I'm getting all the motion design and getting I created everything else basically, like some of these different assets like the crayon. And I think this month was accurate to the time that Easter was on a Tuesday somehow. I just had so much fun with this. The fun part is that I can zoom out a lot and you can see like a lot more of the background. So all you can see is like in here. Like a lot of this was much more outside the frame, which is how weird outside the frame works. I'm gonna be going pretty quick through this because I have a lot to go through in a lot of different videos. But if you want me to like stop and like show that again, or can you dive more into that, or like how did you do that? Feel free to ask away. But otherwise, I'll just kind of do it as a nice little, fairly swiftly video here. Ooh, look at that. No post-processing here. Literally just turning off the opacity of the different parts. It's apparently a tween. What is it actually doing? Oh, there it is. So the alpha. Alpha opacity are the same thing. It's the see-through ability, transparency. So that's like a built-in baked type of effect inside of Flash. So apparently I figured that out and just said like, hey, have the top layer bedroom just kind of fade out, and you got this background layer that just kind of pops up. Yeah. Nice little blink. I'm also gonna note, I noticed in some of the older files is that the way that blink, when she has like eyebrows, don't look great. Like even just a generic blink with this mouth, you see how like just kind of clips. It's like so not clean. Let's see. Hi Purple Toast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Going through my old files. I must have manually animated that bucket on her, the basket. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. This was a different puppet. Yeah. I had to recolor it into Derpy's color. And then that's what all these little dots are. Is that they're missing symbols. So like all these different elements are like got deleted, but they're like still sort of here. It's how many layers deep can you really go for all of this? Wow. It's really cute. I mean, you can put like Derpy in any kind of scenario and it looks really cute. What I would have, if I would have done this again, I would have added some parallax to like the back house here. This house. Probably could have like slid this around. It's a different element, so why not? Why didn't I do that? What I've also noticed is that when I vectored it, I had a little hole right here where you can see the grid line. Yeah. This is mostly just gonna be me pointing out like, why did I do that? Kind of a thing of like trying to explain myself of how many mistakes I made during a lot of this. Ooh, let's see where DJ was at the beginning. A lot of this is just like if they pop in, if they're like coming from the offside, and then they just kind of, whenever I want them to be like near the edge, and then they pop in, and then they come in. I think that's a generic magic symbol. Yeah, it's probably, must be sparkles, maybe it's Twilights. And then I recolored it, and then I put the speaker behind it, made that an element, and then tweened that across. That's fun. I somewhat remember a lot of this video. Ooh, I think the sky is not connected to the edge, or maybe it is? I can't tell. Yeah, I think there's a hole. What usually happens is that the older versions of Flash, you couldn't really see. Like, return to. Actually, hang on. Rulers off. Guides off. In older versions of Flash, the canvas size box, this box here, it didn't have this outline. So when you try to like show everything or try to mask and just be the password 2 turn, ooh, yeah, that's right, you can turn password 2 on, which means you only see what the camera is going to render. But if you turn it off, the older versions of Flash didn't have the little outline box to actually tell you if your camera's safe or not. So I always had to like create like rulers and guides, and that's why you see all that in the guides, show guides, is that each of these shots and scenes are different sort of worlds. So like for each of these I had to go in and manually add rulers and move them up and down and try to get it as close as possible to the edge, but sometimes I miss. So like newer versions have a pathbar 2, and you can see the edge of the box of the camera much more easy. But yeah, stuff I had to like work around with at the time. And the pathbar 2 like box without it, so I can see everything, was actually only added like 5 or so years ago. I mean, for like Flash being like 20 or 30 years old now, it's like, really, it took that long? A lot of these really should have been in a box sort of stuff were not in the box. Ugh. Let's see. I'll catch up. Hi, BNSF, real fan. Welcome. Actually surprised you still had original files to look at. Yeah, my dad told me when I was first making these videos, was like, you better start saving these so you can like look at them later, because I'm spending so much time on it, and it just makes sense to save it. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I've definitely made sure to keep a backup of all this stuff. So I have my entire library in one folder that I've been backing up a lot. So yeah, all these older files, yeah. It's just amazing that older Flash files work on newer Animate versions as well. Yeah. Oh, okay. How you doing? Doing good. It's like a bunch of a strange name. Ah, okay. Real fan. Gotcha. Let's see. I like how this door has no like perspective. Ooh, it's trying its best, but yeah, it's on ones, is it? Is it its own thing? It's not on ones, it's a tween. It's purple. Layer to top here means that it's being tweened between different pose, and then the computer interpolates between it. So like all I did was animate and say like, here's a pose, and then 7 frames later, here's a pose. And so I set up those ones, and then the computer says, I'm gonna figure out what it's gonna look like between it. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes it's better to actually just maybe use this as a base and then go back and try to actually hand draw it or figure it out or add more perspective and more cleanerness to it. Let's see. Yeah, I've just been focused on my movie star. Let's see. Big compilations of the videos for each year. But yeah, the movie's been every like 5 months or 6 months now. But I was doing those stream recaps where I make the compilations of all the stream videos, the little short animations. I'm eventually gonna run out of those if I don't make any more stream animations. We'll be fine. See, there's some parallax with this background. That's why I wasn't with the first one. It wasn't. Parallax is that something physically closer to the camera moves at a faster rate than something further back in distance away from the camera. So it does look like DJ is sort of sliding just in a way that if you look at like the ground here, like that distance, she's kind of like sliding. Like the distance from like here to here should probably be the same, you know. This distance, you know, should like line up for the whole duration. But now you see like they're already like that far back, so either you move the bips here, little ground decorations, and move them over, or literally just move DJ back. Is that on 2 layers? And just kind of move them back like this. Whoops, I made it a little better. There you go. Oh, me. Okay, Baby Me was not experienced yet. This was probably my year in or so, of actually like trying to sit down and like, I'm gonna try and animate. This is only like a year in. So again, if you're coming in, looking at my old videos from like 7 years ago, so these are not quality at all, but I just had fun. Try to look at them and say, what did I do during a lot of this? It's interesting that I made some elements their own symbol and then animated it inside. Like I can move the whole shallow case, then if I go inside it, then I can access the different pieces and then animate it. It's actually pretty good, but it's kind of, I don't know, I don't do it like this anymore. I do it a different way, I just can't really explain it. I think I just kind of have it as one timeline. Instead of having this keyframe means that it's starting from frame 1. Yeah, I would have it like be one timeline, so get rid of the keyframe and then have a whole bunch of dead air at the beginning and then time it out, kind of a thing. Let's see. Ooh, that expression. Oop, her body disappeared. I think you gotta keep the... I must have kept the body for one frame to make sure that I got it as a reference, so I don't actually delete it. So I guess if I needed it for the rest of the scene, but I guess I just deleted it because that's all you see is her eyes. I'm gonna try and go a little bit more quicker. No animation there, maybe? It's possible this might be a little bit not complete version, but at this point I don't even know what is complete when nothing's really super complete anyway. I'll just give you the boundary big version of it. Yeah, maybe that bird was supposed to be doing something. Not yet. Oh. Ooh, okay, I did the Brawl Smash Bros title in. Use some special layering effects. Layered on different effects on top. Or it's just like this one picture. And then we got the opacity. Yeah, the slowpoke was really fun. Because I got a bunch of different layers and they just kind of tween different places. Got the arm. Seal the egg. Next purple. Watching this. Alright. So it was just Sonic appears at the end. Sonic was just a weird afterthought and emissary. I think I reused that, but now we got the egg on top. There's a lot longer animation out of that. I wanted to do a little like anime thing of, it's like when something's missing, you do a little like ant dot silhouette of like what it is or where it is. I don't know if I have to go back. I'm not sure if I recolored these, but these were fun. So these little widescreen bars are their own elements. Let's see. Thank you, real fan. I appreciate it. Juju. I think it's almost over. We're near the end. Some of these aren't animated, so that makes that easy. Where are these stars from? Pew, pew, pew. They're different like stars and then just kind of explode out. And that's the end. Then it goes to end credits. So there we go. Alright, let's go on to the next one. One that I'm more proud of, at least at the time. I was like, this is amazing. I did this. I just want to check what this is. I had a ref. Apparently I had a ref. Little edges of a line. Interesting. Forgot about that. Muffin Ted. You can find all these videos on my YouTube. They're all here. What I do is sort by oldest first, and then you can find it a little bit easier. scroll up a little bit, or you can watch all of these to catch up. But it's actually called a Derpy Committee. There you go. I'm ahead for now. Happy 9-year. Thank you. Thank you, Purple. I appreciate it. And yeah, that was a perspective line to get these guys in a line. So this is one that I focus more on. Oh yeah, the backstory was that I found a like a C-SPAN video where a politician was like talking about. If you watch the video, you understand. I muted it just for my own copyright reasons. But yeah, this was some politician guy was talking about the price of muffins, which is like was so which is so professional about it, but just like we shouldn't have muffins that are like super expensive, your honor. I just love that audio snippet. It was like I'm going to animate it, and so the speaker also had like some sort of an accent, so I made it braver. I love little Derpy. This is great. Like let's get that full HD of her little Derpy animation. She wants the muffin. Hey Sasha, welcome. Yeah, so the characters were Brayburn, Derpy, of course, Bon with the cowboy hat to fill it up. The French chef bird from one of the episodes. What was that? Caramel and Godot. I don't know if you're super familiar. He's from Phoenix Wright. Definitely at the time I was like playing through the games and it was like he's a lawyer. Put him in. I don't know. So I handcrafted this guy. So I made the visor. Look at him go. You can tell what parts I'd be able to tell what parts I made. But yeah, this was fun. One of the first OCs I wanted. Yeah. Oh, I skipped on the lip sync. I cut his face off so you can't see his face. And so for this little section here, for I don't know how long, I didn't animate his mouth. Anyway, go back. But yeah, he just kind of just kept talking for over a minute now. Oh, in this part too, he doesn't. He's just kind of happy. And so it's not like a video game. It's kind of like a video game kind of style of being very efficient, where like you only have as much as you need for each shot. So if you don't see a Derpy where she would be on the outside, then just kind of delete her. All the other characters, you know. And if you can't see him talking, or like you don't see his mouth, then don't animate it. We got a Godot face shrish. Yeah, I remember his style. It's not a bad. It definitely gets the job done, but it's definitely like a little bit too squishy. Like it's taking squash and stretch a little bit too far. Definitely would want like at least a different type of perspective image, like some sort of a 7/8 between, some sort of picture between these two to actually meld these together and be less squishy. And less squishy just means like from here to get to here. It's a bit much. I think we're getting close, I think. Let's see. We might have to go for an hour and a half, I'm not sure. But probably just to make up for that 20 minutes of the first one. So if that's alright, that's the end. And then we got Twilight with her lip sync. I also noticed that I kept her slippers. I had to get a download. I did download a different version of Twilight because this is when, right after she became a princess at the time. So I had to get a different version, and I think it had her entire like coronation setup. So I think it had a bunch more. Yeah. So This is what you get when you like show everything that's in the puppet. So she has a lot more. Oh Jesus, dresses in different parts too. It's so many pieces. But yeah, so I had to like move the slippers out of frame, and then just kind of make her a little naked. Ooh, embedded credits inside of, yep, Tedpo. What are he's doing? Ooh. Yeah, this was April 2014, so I guess at the time I didn't have it yet. Well, at what time would I have you know, an Alicorn Twilight? If I'm not doing main 6 videos enough. This is during this era, I was feeling like way more confident. So a lot of my videos now are becoming much more cinematic and much more, yeah, spending a lot more time on them to like craft them and to have a lot more vision taking care of it. But yeah, there's a tiny little Luna. She's right there. Yeah. We'll see here. Yeah, I think it's just taking this picture. It's made her really, really tall, small. I think we might have the entire moon. This is why you want to be efficient with your animation, so you don't have to keep working while you're working on it and not having to worry about this moon being overly huge and has effects on it, has a glow that doesn't work well fast. So this video came about when I was watching a Doctor Who special with the first Doctor, and ooh, he's retired. Okay, good. How did that? Thank you. I was watching Doctor Who special, Adventures in Time and Space, and somehow I was thinking of Space Jam. Maybe these might be different things, but definitely at the same period. So anyway, but yeah, these videos got a lot more expressive. But Luna, I'm trying to remember whether or not I made this version, or maybe there was like a season 2 Luna and I made it into like a quote younger version. So to make her younger, I made like a ponytail and have her in a different hairstyle. Trying to remember whether or not I made this. Philly Luna head core. Might have only put. It's actually her tail. Oh, interesting. Okay, so her ponytail is literally her ponytail. Got it. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this is getting a lot more interesting shots. I was playing around and having a lot more like physics with her tail and trying to think of how it would work in space. Yeah. Primitive refreshments served at conferences at the Capitol. Expresses sponsored 16 inch for several objects. Madam Speaker, do you know the Muffin Man? That's right! That's exactly it. I don't know how much of a meme it was, but I definitely like found it at the time on YouTube, and it was like, I want to use this audio. The record was fun. I don't know how. I definitely animated it. Just during this period as well. You can already tell like I'm not really creating as much assets as much as just kind of animating them. So this is definitely during this time I was much more not confident with just like I'm gonna go create this on my own and make something from scratch. A lot of this was like I need to find a Luna, I need to find this and this. I made the moon and I made this. I made it, but I definitely like traced it. So I guess the whole lesson is that you can make stuff, but you know, at least to know your limits. And I guess not being too afraid to say like, yeah, I I didn't quite make everything, so yeah. This was fun. I think I animated that. This looks like common ones. We should use auto-tune if we're going to sing about it. I wonder if I animated this on my own. I'm not sure whether or not. Because like nine times out of 10, I would have traded something else at this point. Remember this being during high school. So I would show this to my friends in high school and they didn't care. Let's see. Hello. Ooh. Love Heart. QT. Wow, that's a cute name. Welcome, welcome. I'm going through my old projects. Pew. Nice. This is I was using the Space Jam main theme, and so I essentially made an AMV and PMV with this. Well, that took a lot of processing power. I remember like at the time like I had a really bad computer, so just animating it was like, I'm just trying to like play through it with like this. It was like so slow. But now it just like, it works. Full speed. In each of these, let's see. Each of these jams. So to go with the Space Jam song, these are space jams. Jams in space. Well, I thought it would have been a little bit more smart about this, but it looks like I made an orange jam jelly copy. And this is a grape jam jelly. Huh. I must have, okay, instead of being smart and having different, like, having different frames down here, and then saying vertically orange, apple, grape, banana as different frames, and then on here saying, like, you're orange, you're apple, and then, like, saying what frame to use. I literally just made different copies, and so they're completely separate copies. Like different instances, like duplicating it, but not like not sharing the same assets. So the problem with doing it this way is because they're like duplicated copies. That means if I want to change the shape of, like, if I wanted like every single one of these grapes to have a different silhouette with the entire, like, if I wanted all of them to be like shaped like this for some reason, all these other ones are completely different and share a different memory or whatever. So it means that I can't really, all the ones that are copied, like all the pairs do share the same art, but the grapes don't. So it's not as efficient. Oops, we need more stuff. Oh yeah, so I hit them all. This was fun. I think I tinted her down. Yeah, like her brightness was down. A lot more like using effects and staging. Because like in the Easter one, it was just like this, the way to figure out the story was just to make a script. Basically, instead of like trying to figure out like coming up with an idea and then acting upon it. Oopa. Let's see. Hi, Mario. I remember having like very vivid of like, I just had a lot of this in my head, and it was just like having to like, get it to animate was the hard part. I remember that was a very like visual joke that I really wanted to have, was I would miss. And then the record player is playing the actual Space Jam music, which I think I got copyrighted on, so that was fun. Whoop, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Oh boy. Trying to remember what that was. What even is all this? Text? Basket? Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, hang on, I don't even know what's going on. What are these layers? Let's see. Whoop, there's my hand. Hello, Leon. Hello. Let's see. These days you would have just totally remade Space Jam and MIDI. You got past that? Yeah, I would have. I would have done it on a different, like, not done it on YouTube. I would have done it on, like, Deviantart or Twitter or something. Some other thing that's, like, less hard hammer kind of style to get on the copyright. This was fun. Oops, need a background. Need those stars. Oop, need that background. This was fun. I don't know how long it took to make this, but definitely there was a period of, there's one day there. It definitely this took like a couple weeks. I think this one took like the longest out of ones up to this point. I mean, like, I made this. Do you know how long that took? So this was really fun. So I was using a mask for different things here, as well as changing the perspective of the banana picture as well. So like the banana picture here actually changes sizes as it goes across and it gets larger. It's a lot of different things to create a 3D effect. And this is just being statically animated, and then it's being moved in literal space. Where it kind of moves down, and so it kind of creates this cool effect. I remember, like, once I got that, like, complete, I was, like, so happy, because it was, like, one of my favorite effects at the time. Was to get that parallax, or I get 3D effect. I'm trying to remember if I made that. I definitely made it, yeah, it's not. Smooth this over, buddy, just. There. There. Jeez. Alright. I made those, yeah. Made those cheese sandwich videos, hardware store, taco routing, and Pokemon. Yes. If they're on my channel, yes, I made those. I got hardware store pulled up, so hopefully we'll get to it. This is the end of Space Jam. Oh, I called the video adventures in Space and Jam or something, right? So that's where I got that idea from. Full circle with the Doctor Who thing. There we go. And embedded credits again for the best burrito ever and some Doctor Who video, I guess. I mean, I put the credits in, so they shouldn't have, you know, been too on me. Alright. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say hello to you. I just read your thing. Hi, Fetch. Thank you. Now we're moving on to start. I called it Stare Facts. I think that was a John joke or something. But yeah, I think the final YouTube title is something different. So I have all these like these internal names for all my file names, so it kind of got a little tricky to find them. Yeah, so once I figured out how to use masks, I used it everywhere. With this kind of effect of having large artwork and it just kind of slides across, and then you have another shape to say where the boundary of where you can actually see it. So let's see. So this was fun. I figured out how to use text of all things. So there's an edible text here. There you go. The fun part is I never actually got to the Tyric. Yeah, I never made like a part 3. I made a part 2 to this. But I never actually got to a part 3 where I actually have anything with Tyrick. Looks like a lot of this is on the same timeline. I'll just give you the bird's eye view. This one probably used like a lot of tracing of different elements, but I remember having really a lot of fun trying to get the text and having the little pop-ups. The pop-ups were really fun to make these little boxes here. So there's separate elements, of course, and they have little animations already animate here. A little mask to hide them inside the box. And then I was really persnickety about having the, I guess, in-game version of these also animates at the same time inside of the ones inside of the our wings were also trying to be as timed out as possible, so when they open their mouth and close it, it should be in the same timing. Yeah. So I wrote out this script on a Word thing and using Word, and this is why I don't use the main 6, because I don't know how to write for them. I feel like so self-conscious. It's like everyone has a very succinct version of the main 6 and how they talk. That's like, this is me trying to mask it with using Star Fox characters. So it's like, no, they're not. It's not really Fluttershy. It's, you know, the Star Fox version of Fluttershy talking. This was a lot of fun to make. Ooh, did a barrel roll. It's on Derpy, don't worry about it. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else really to talk about. Ooh, that's fun. How'd that work? Looks like they're all elements that are just literally just animated like that. So they are literally just, I squished them down and just kind of moved them down and just kind of lined them up with the terrain and copied them over. So I could have done masks, but I didn't for those. I was also like really want to make sure that the expressions also matched up between the two. Yeah, so even though it's like a separate camera, but because they're at different angles, I had to every single time make a new copy and animate it practically like twice to make these different versions for each character. So that was a lot of work. Then the big boss comes in. Doodle doodle doodle. It's really slow. I can't zoom out while it's animating. Look at him. I love the next thing that happens. It's just I don't know if it cuts people off guard, but boom. That was fun. He just kind of animates. It's all on ones. I don't know if we're able to get to it. Then they do the super blast. I don't know what this is. Pew pew. There we got it. And then report in, same thing. A little robot. Kind of designed it. It's a new character. I don't know if there's too much lore, but it kind of now reminds me of the Star Fox Zero. I haven't played it, but he was kind of like a drone kind of character guy. This kind of reminds me of him. And I kept like the same kind of colors to try to match up. So it could be a Star Fox SNES character, but it's just a little guy. Oh, I called him Friend. I forgot. His actual name is Friend. Yay. And they're okay. Yeah. Oh man. That got me. Yeah. He found his cute and defenseless robot and then picked it up. You know. Oh boy. And then the credits. That's one of the other videos. And I had this one as a mystery one. Like, at the time, I was like, you had annotations, so you can click on this one, and it'll be whatever this video represented. which is like the last video. And then this other one would be, I don't know what I'm making next. So I had like a Derpy with a detective hat. Think like, oh, what, we're gonna investigate what's happening next. And then I would finish the next video and then come back to the previous one, which is this one, and then add an annotation for the next one on top. So I thought I was cool with that, but then, you know, how people even remember annotations, you know? They sort of still work, but on a very required basis. Oh yeah, so I took all the sprite or gallery kind of whole bunch of pictures to get it. But the boss was really fun. It's an entire sprite sheet for the boss, and then I lined them up. So if you like animate it, he kind of like rotates. Look at him go. I did each one and lined them up and said like, here he goes, and then he's being moved around. Let's move on. All right, next one. Let me get some juice. This one's the pure fun slice of life comedy one. This one was like really memorable. This one always sticks out to me a lot. It's one of my favorites. If I had like a top 10 or 20, this one would definitely be up there for all my videos. I think basically I really like Lyra and Derpy, and so I just having them be like weird, like they try to like out weird each other, but not intentionally. Kind of a fun thing. This is like the thumbnail, and like all of their eyelashes are corrupted. What's with what are those? Ah, it's being clipped off. This eyelash should not exist. Okay, can I fix it? So what you would do is go all the way in, and then burp, burp, burp. Whoops! If I even knew how to do that, there. Jeez, look how good that looks. And it would fix the other one, but yeah, that's how it's more meant to be looking like. That just looks a million times better. Let me undo it so I can see what it looks like. There we are. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I had to get back to it. 64. I never got a 64 as a kid. As a kid, we had like the SNES. And then, as I was a baby, there was no time to play 64 games to like get another console as a baby. So it's like, yeah, just wait till the GameCube. All of these eyebrows, no! The eyebrows are, they kind of line up with that one, but that doesn't physically make sense. There was some extra lore with this that wasn't thought of at all. I don't know what this is. There's this battle, and it looks really cool. It's like on stage now, and it's like, okay. I guess it was a stage show, like a play, but it's like it's like really manly and cool. Like, look at the fire, you know, kind of a poster. For some reason, they're just like royal guards, but then Lyra thinks it's like a Viking thing, and I'm not sure. And so Derpy has like remembering to like, oh yeah, I got the battle board game. Check this out. And it's a completely different type of game. So I was like, no, we want to go to the stage play. No. A little bit back. A lot of like little details, and it's like that SpongeBob, like where they play like the board game in like season 1 or 2. And it's like, oh no, today's Wednesday, you know, you can only do this. And it's like, you stepped my mistletoe or something. Look at him go. Oh, I did the fade out background again. Look at that. That's so cool. Is there anything in here? Yeah, so like Lyra is trying to read the directions and instructions that come with it. trying to put the different pieces together, and then Derpy like snatches it out. And I was like, nope, we're just gonna play. And it's like, It's like, is that even 1, 2? I don't even know. That's even 6 possible steps away. 2600. Yeah, we had a 2600. My mom had it. As a younger. And it's like, let's play something else. It's like, rock paper scissors, and then they're using hooves, so it's like you can't even tell. Yeah, and then the rock from the rock paper scissors falls down. Oh yeah, I forgot to show the rock. So it just kind of manifests when it's needed, and then it just plops her. What's it look like? Yeah. Definitely, I skipped through a lot of that, but that was definitely a lot of fun to make. Ooh, that was a lot of fun, yeah. Tried to come up with the game and like, didn't really play the game much, but it's just like the idea of it being completely nonsense. Okay, moving on. This one, not many people like, and I don't know why. I thought it was fun. It's definitely not probably presented too well or makes sense, because like I do it in a weird context where I have like Twilight is remembering background. Twilight is remembering her old library, and so she's in the castle now, and so she's like, oh, I remember the castle, the library, remember the beehive. Remember that tree? And then we're gonna look up. And then I play a little bit of the song from the actual show. And so I'm not sure why. This episode must have just came out. And so I was looking at that, and I listened to I think I watched Ferris Bueller at the time, and I listened to the song. It was like just kind of all these kind of stuff just kind of come together, you know. It's like one of those kind of dreams where it's just like you're just kind of in there and things just make sense at the time, but then you like step back and it only makes sense in like a certain context of like, ooh, I was thinking of this, and then that came up, and it's like, ooh, I'm thinking of this now, and then, you know. And so if you take it out of that context of exactly my brain, then it's like it doesn't make any sense. But the thing about the lyrics are like, ooh, sun, ooh, moon, it's ooh, the sun's pretty, no, the moon's pretty. So it's all can make sense, but it definitely, yeah. I think the reception was a little bit mixed. This is one of my favorite parts, was just like they just stopped singing. These puppets are, I think every puppet is still from Double Rainbow. I'm still not making my own puppets or anything yet. Their hair does like animate, so I can get to them. Hope that's not the Luna layer. So these do have animations, so like for some reason they made this, when the person who made the puppets, they designed it to be a movie clip. It's just a fancy way to have it be able to be, you can add more effects to it. You can add a lot more different types of filters and effects to a movie clip compared to a graphic. So I can't get those filters onto it, but if I wanted much more crazy 3D stuff, I'm able to do that. And if I change it back to a graphic, it should just animate on the timeline now until it kind of, I animate it here so it actually switches back to a movie clip for each of these. But yeah, so if you're wondering why they weren't like moving the hair, they technically do, but the way that the Flash animates means that they don't until you actually render it. Why they designed it that way, or you had to make a sacrifice with that, I don't know. Do. And then they get turned. I spent a lot of time in the background with this one. And it's like it looks okay, then you like look a little closer, and it's like they're just the same houses over and over. I think this was originally like the Crystal Kingdom, but I wanted to be in Ponyville, so I had to like change all the houses to be Ponyville houses. So it's like doesn't really make sense as well with that either. And then on the side, I had a lot more fun with Twilight. Opposite, yeah. So it's the last episode was the board game one, and so now we got a little tiny chibi version. So I had to like custom make these ones. And so they're like little inside here and a little animation. Yeah. Inside the little loops. And same with the mystery one. Look at her go. Yeah. We're gonna go for another half hour. Just for explaining the rest of these couple videos. And then we'll have toaster time whenever that is after that. So let's transition to here. This was fun. Alright. I said it a lot, but like this is definitely my favorite era of all the videos, like different years and like little sections. This like span of videos was like definitely like my most like I feel confident and I want to try a whole bunch of different stuff and was able to get results that I wanted. I think was also really important to me was also to get like being able to like have an idea and be able to act on it and have it look good was like about when I'm at that sort of like precipice of like, you know, between like my skill level and what I want to do. I don't even know how to make that as a graph, but like as my skill level kind of went up, I felt more confident, and so it kind of got up to we're about here, and we started here, so it's very gradual. But then like I slowly learned more and more, and then just kind of plateaued after that. So, you know, that's where we're gonna head. But well, yeah. I guess for that demonstration, I think for right here, or around here, is about where we are now. So we started here, and then we're about here now. So this is like the first like, whoa, I know what I'm doing kind of a section before really taking off. But yeah, being able to like, I wanna like a wind. Ooh, I could just draw a little windy thing, and then it works. Yeah. Being able to get her sit position, like that's hard. Like that's not a built-in thing. That's not a built-in pose. You know, I have to actually create it. You know, so many other legs I had to move to get this to work. Like all of her other legs over here miscolored for some reason. Oopsie. Don't delete her. I had a lot of fun with the backgrounds as well with these. I'm still like tracing them, but it's like I'm able to, because I created my own version of it, my own Flash version, I can have a whole bunch of different layers. And so this is when I was like, what if I have like animated layers? And so I can have this little water effect, kind of like a shore effect going in and out. And so it's just like a shape that's like remember the classic tween, where like I'm only really programming and setting the values of like these different frames, and then the computer is interpolating and figuring out what goes in between those. I need the camera movement. Why is there no shadow on the muffin? Okay, this is when you don't recolor your horse legs. I think these are Twilights, maybe. Tricycle, 3/4 PP, copy muff. That's probably Pinkie Pie. Looks like there are... Oh, that's right. This was really dumb. Yeah. So, I did go in and recolor them to be derpy colors, as you see here. But if I go back out, a little bit, they get a special color effect. I don't know if my head's in front of it. That changes, instead of taking it to be like a darkness, which is about what I would expect to be like a -7 or so, would be to there. So you still preserve the derpy color, but you're just making it a little bit darker. Instead, what they did was that they had the Pinkie Pie version and then manually changed the RGB values to be a little bit off. By changing it to be, yeah, if you make it like 100% on each of these, yeah, we get this color, which I don't even know what horse has this color for a leg. And so they manually changed the RGB values instead of making it darker by using a different type of value, type of effect to get the. This is how I would do it now, which is literally just use the brightness and then just turn it down like -10 or so. But instead, they changed the RGB values. I don't know. So you get this effect where like I'm using a different horse, but I'm using the right colors, but it's just being changed by the RGB values instead. So. So I never picked it up on this particular tricycle. Poof. Ugh. This is really fun. I think I made this background first, and then I was like, what if I could make an animation using this shot? Because I really like this composition of like being under the water and then having all these little water effects going on, and then she's like looking down. I had this vision of like looking at this, and I was like, I want to make something with this. Let's see. This console was 64. Yeah, my first true console after this NES was GameCube. That was like when I first like really got into in the gaming. Look at him go. So this is the train conductor. I can tell by his rest of his attire, but I made a little boat hat. He's so cute. Look at him go. Let's get a little animation. I wanted to get to his hat. Let me see your hat. Let me see your hat. Yeah. It's not even a symbol. Jeez. Did I ever think I'd get rid of it? Yeah. He's bald. But maybe I got rid of his hair. But yeah, I'm getting definitely more confident, like adding a lot more. Oh, look at that. I might not have done to do that a couple months earlier. Wait, I want to see what this looks like outside. Yeah, I'm taking little shortcuts where I knew that the train conductor would be off screen at this frame. So like I knew that I didn't need to have longer animation, so he kind of loops his own animation midway through a shot. Yes, he only goes to frame 30, but the shot's like 60, so like it just kind of loops twice. This is a weird perspective shot, but this is animation, because you get to see this, and it looks, yeah, that looks alright. This is what I get to do. Yeah, so sorry, I'm gonna keep working on these two to get through these, and then we'll see where we go after that. My throat is completely gone, but still going. So I think, I don't know how much you actually missed then. Hey, cool, mine was, yeah, I said that my first true one was GameCube. Oh, look at the physics! Oh, it's really weird that I must have animated, okay, what's going on? What do we got here? We got the boat up and down motion, we got still more stuff. Oh, we got some masks to have them be inside of the boat, which I don't know if they're really, oh, we made the one for the oar. Aha, this is where it got a little bit complex, because now we're inside of Derpy with her rig. We got all these extra legs. I can't really just say like turn off guides. That would be actually kind of nice if I could say like select all guides and then turn them off. That'd be nice. So I think I might have animated the ball first, maybe, and then animated the string maybe after. Because I don't see myself trying to make the string and then adding the ball later. But yeah, it's all on ones, and like the string is on its own sort of. It's not bad, you know. It made sense to me. But yeah, it's all key and like hand animated. Like I don't think I did too much like looking up of physics or anything for this. So it's a little bit off. It probably could be more. You know, like when you have like a string and like you have it be a bit more. Like when you have like some sort of string and it just kind of goes up a little bit, and then you have the ball. Where you have this little bit of a tension that gets released as like the weight of the ball itself also, if it's going up. You also got this little tiny bit here that's still trying to go down, but also you get this kind of shape like that. So I don't think I did much of this much effort to get it to look truly good. I think this definitely does its job, and it's definitely kind of fun. It's kind of swingy. Is Derpy on the boat? Oh, she's still on the boat. But all you get to see is this little box. Oh, she's even still going. Look at her go. She's not supposed to be there. They're also on the shore just to make sure that the background layer horizon line still works, even if it doesn't line up. Because again, it only matters what's inside of here. That's it. They just gotta. Oh, okay. We're fading out. Very nice. Oop, we're trying again. Now we faded back up. So this is like a black screen that has a effect on it. Yeah, alpha 0. So it just kind of interpolates between these different poses. Ooh, look at that. I forget when you just kind of slow it down what it actually looks like. Looks like I have my masks a little bit too small there. What if this is actually in the final, where it actually kind of gets cut off? And that's because my mask here, my yellow mask, is a little bit low. If it was only like a little bit taller, beep. Yep. So now I can see it all. Not that you know, it doesn't really matter, but at least now I can see it actually what it's supposed to look like. I didn't have much of a. It was only me really working on this. I mean, you know, I don't really like do any proofs or like, I don't send it to any friends or anyone and say like, hey, look at this. It's more just kind of like in secret. That's when I do a lot of this, and just kind of when it's like I feel like, you know, I animated every shot, you know, and just kind of publish it without really going like, I wonder if every single frame here and every single element inside the frame looks as good as it could be. You know, there wasn't much. Oh, this is really cool. Wasn't much proofreading or whatever it is. So this is cool, is that the background actually slides down. Because I wanted the gradient to kind of slowly go down. So it's literally the sky kind of going down and then changes. And then you also have the characters also change their values as well. So they get a little bit darker. Each element has a darker brightness value. And so now we're just at nighttime. Even though everything's just literally just more darker and blacker rather than any kind of artistic value to make it more pink or purple night sky. So what if I just kind of, whoop, I can kind of turn off the brightness. So that's what it looks like during the day. Yeah, I might have used this as... Was this the thumbnail? It feels familiar. What if I used... Did I use this one? Was this the thumbnail? Whoop. We got something going on. What's this? Oh, my storyboard. Look at her go. Thank you, Cookie. I definitely had a lot of fun figuring things out. It's like a puzzle to like, oh, I want this to happen, or like, how does this story end, and like a lot of this plot stuff. That's the infamous what is this kind of thing at the end. And there's no time to figure it out. You only have like 3 seconds to like figure it out. Like, there's no... There's nothing else to like really latch onto or catch on to. Like, what is that? It's kind of like an end gag. It's like, whoop, that's all you get. I must have called this something. Oh yeah, I called most of the muffins my muffin. And so this is my muffin, capital full, all caps, fish. So, I don't even know what does this even look like from the side? Does it even look like a fish at this point? It has like fins on both sides. If this is the tail, this is like a face or head or something. Is this like the back fin thing, or whatever it is? And then like these are the rudder hand fins. So, it definitely doesn't resemble a fish to begin with. So, what would I do if I wanted to fix it? I don't know. It's my fish. I mean, you get some sort of a more of a classic fish shape. Basically, just draw a fish and then try to then work from there. Maybe more. Something more like that. I mean, it's still like got the same like idea, and it's still like same almost silhouette, but it's definitely got a little bit better proportions maybe. When it kind of squishes out and kind of... Yeah, that probably helps a lot to get that going. That's just be quick sketch, and now of course I would do it a couple times to nail it down, but I think that's what I was going for. If I had more artistic talent at the time, I would have made something probably more akin to this now. So, oh well. Let's see. Animal Crossing. Oh yeah, I played Animal Crossing GameCube. Definitely. Yeah. That was a lot of fun, yeah. If you animated the bins and stuff, it would have been more obvious, but if you did the video nowadays, I know you wouldn't have done it. I don't know. What does that mean? I'm more reserved? That's like I wouldn't do more of this wacky stuff? I don't know. Yeah. Well, especially the style, the art style, where it is kind of more chibi style, where it's more minimalistic. I probably wouldn't have had too many details. If this was in the Paper Mario Derpy, maybe I would have added like more shading and make it more obvious. Yeah, I think starting from a fish shape probably would have helped it a lot more than starting with a muffin and then try to figure out what a fish looks like. Oh well. Thank you, Cookie. I appreciate it. I'm gonna wrap up hopefully in like a couple minutes, probably like 10-15 minutes or something, probably a little bit longer. I don't know. I got one more huge one to go through. So, thank you though. Yeah. Happy Knife. Thank you. That means next year it's gonna be Big 10. And I'll oh, that's the... Oh yeah, princesses. And then the mystery one. I eventually got like so used to like this mystery one that I was like, I always saw like each video that I was like, huh, I wonder if I should do something with the detective Derpy at some point. Like, was this actually leading to something? And then I was like, yeah, maybe it should. And so I made a detective Derpy video. Just based on the fact that it's like I always use this as my end credits thing. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have ever considered it. I like mysteries. Definitely fun mystery ones. Probably uses Legends of Zelda music. I don't know where. Alright. Last one for today. If you've been following along, thank you so much. Home stretch. My throat is completely gone. It's still going. Alright. Looks like I still got the storyboards. We'll probably go through it with the storyboards once and then see what that looks like. Or maybe there's no storyboards. Okay. This is the Weird Al hardware store that I animated. Wait, why did I say that? So this was the original storyboards. You can see it in a little fun animatic. Not as much storyboards. Oh, I think I missed some. Oh well. Hi Ben. Welcome. So yeah, this is the hardware store. This is the first Weird Al song I did. But not the last. I did like 4 or 5 after this. Eventually I was like, maybe I should stop doing copyrighted songs. So I eventually got to a point where it's like, maybe I got so many copyright claims from like even older videos. That like in 2018, I would get like a copyright claim from YouTube saying, hey, your video from 2013, yeah, we just noticed, as a heads up, yeah, your video there, ooh, looks like you're using this song, and it's like, oh, okay, and it's like, yeah, you can't be monetized, and it doesn't, yeah, you get less stuff for it, and people won't be really clued in to actually watch it, so, yeah, alright, have a good day, kind of a thing. It's like, oh, okay. So, eventually that happened like every other month, and I was like, maybe I should stop. And I was getting tired too of like doing music videos. They were fun, but it's like hard to always top myself, you know, of like how can I make this better than the last. And it's like it is hard. But definitely I think my magnum opus of like the different Weird Al ones is the Everything You Know Is Wrong. That's one of my favorites too. Out of the Weird Al ones, I think that's one of my favorite. Even though people were saying like, you copied off the other guy's animation, and it's like, to my defense, we're using the same story, and so it's definitely gotta have at least some elements that are the same. And because Weird Al like describes like and sings the song in such a very vivid like descriptive way. If you change it too much, then you're actually going against like what he envisioned and like how he wrote it himself, you know. So if we do it in a different way, then it's like it's gonna be inaccurate. So there's only like very few interpretations that would be accurate and, you know, cartoony and fun, and be the wacky version of it, you know. So anyway, so this one, so yeah, my intention for the first couple ones was to do ones that didn't start with didn't have a music video, that didn't have a video to go along with it. So like Hardware Store is obviously super long, so it's like I can't be wrong with a music video with this. I looked up a bunch of different videos, and they're all live action, and it's like some cute ones of them going to a hardware store and just kind of dancing around. It's like, oh, okay, and then it's like, you know, they point out the screwdrivers and be like, oh, look, that's part of the song. But yeah, it looks like the storyboard. Most of it is intact, but I think the original storyboard didn't have the extra characters. It didn't have the griffins, what was it, Black Griffin? It doesn't have the psychic backup singer Griffin or the worker Griffin guy. Oh, look at that. A foot lover. You might recognize this background. This background is actually the Muffin Ted background. From who knows how long ago, for a couple months. I was like, I need a desert background. Quick. Just to get going. And maybe I'll change it later or edit it or something. Who knows. Nope, it's the same background. Yeah. The Griffin was fun. I think I made a lip sync chart. I'm not sure. I think the one I downloaded this as a regular. I think it was Gilda. It was a Gilda puppet. So I recolored it and changed all of its hair and design and everything. And I think I made either a good majority or like a lot of these, because I needed very expressive like mouth, so I needed like a whole bunch of different. These are the different possibilities and different mouth shapes they can do. Yeah, I definitely drew this. I recognize my lines. And so lip sync works is that you use those different possibilities of different mouths, and then you say on the new timeline that's different, and say I want to expose and show that possibility of frame number 4, which corresponds to inside of here. So it's using this as a library. You go to a library, you pick out a book that you want to choose, and then you say, I want this book at Tuesday at March 5th, and it's like a date or something to think about it. And it's like, I'm just kind of checking out and saying like, oh, I need a new one. And so you're just referencing those different books from your library, and then just playing them out. So this was, I definitely had a lot of work, a lot of practice from working on this one, of a lot of lip sync. So I definitely got a lot of experience to do that with that Muffin Ted video. And then look at him go. So I'm going to replay it now with the boundary break version. Look at him go. Boop, 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 boop. Try to center it. You might recognize this. The hardware store itself is based on the Animal Crossing. Full circle with that. Animal Crossing some version. Let me see if it actually shows me here. It's possible that I might have a reference. Here's Gustav, a couple pictures. Okay. It's whatever it is. Mega Nook. So I took this as a picture and then obviously got to, it's City Folk, I think. The Wii version. Got the background. And then that background. Yeah. It's not too many references, but I guess I already had a bunch already. I think I made cheese from scratch. I'm trying to think. But definitely a lot of it was custom made. Like, because he's not a mare. He's not a girl, so I had to like custom make a lot of this. And I think I made this entire puppet. I think I was like super proud at the end. I was like, I made a custom puppet. You know, at this time I was like, this is a huge undertaking to even take on that. Meanwhile, I'm also making a whole bunch of different mouths, sad mouths. So I think this is like the start of me making much more custom assets and like making an entire puppet at this point. There's a little butt wiggle shake there. There you go. I think I made these legs. Yeah, I think I made like practically everything on this puppet. I think there's probably some stuff. I probably didn't make the irises. The irises look, it's just a gradient. Nowadays it'd be like gradient done, but maybe I just kind of copy paste some of those elements there. But definitely good majority again. I think I made. Then I made that inside there, and then inside of the hardware store, I reused these from later. There's these different shelves, and then each on these shelves are the different reuse of stuff that I already made on other pieces as well. So you got the different woods and like the saws from the beginning, the brick, and then some of the other tools, paint, some screws. What I didn't realize is that I apparently don't know how to draw drills and screwdrivers, so they don't quite work. They won't work well. Try to center it first. There we go. Oh boy. I think once I added yeah, but once I added the griffins, it definitely took on a different tone. It was like much more interesting. I think my original plan was just to have cheese sandwich and just like him dancing, and that was it. Looks like I got this is the screw where it's, you can tell I don't touch grass outside, so this doesn't make any sense. But I made it look cool. I mean, it drills. And it goes with the song beat as well. But yeah, that's not how you draw a drill. Alright. Let's see, it's kind of sleeping bag. Oh, that's fun. Look at him go. If he's outside of the frame, you don't animate it. You don't need to. Look at him go. It's so weird. Yeah, a lot of this is just to suffice inside of the camera. What can I say about it? Yeah. What would they look like? If you take away that layer. Oh, they're inside of a mask. Let's see. Oh, you just kind of just stand out there. Oh, isn't that the, like, if you're just like an indoor kid, like you don't go outside and actually touch nature and all that. His hand just kind of flipped down. Had a lot of fun. Like, I remember spending like a whole day's worth animating his hair little thing here. This is a separate hair thing, and so I got every time his head moved, I would kind of jimmy it up and down. Let's turn that back on. Try to center it. Sorry. Oop. In the song, it only gets to like the. Oop, I don't know where the frames are. Sorry. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, 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 that went too far. Where are we? Yeah, you get kind of lost as well with this. There you go. That like the maybe I added. That was my own joke, and I think I got some sort of a chuckle from some people when I showed it, and they were like, "Ah." That was about it. Does his eyes... Does a griffin eyes do to Toy Story? Yep. Oh my god. Yeah. I never noticed that. Obviously, if I noticed it, I would have fixed it, but... Man. Huh. Let's figure out why that happens. And it's just a pet peeve. Of like, yeah, I know exactly why. It's because the eyes are different. What? Symbols. I'm more confused now. What? You mean there's 2 eyes? There's 3 eyes. What? I didn't know about that. Okay, good. That at least it's not a weird thing then. Thank you. These are the real ones? Are they on the same... Oh, hang on. I think I'm unlocking something. Okay, this is really dumb Flash that I'm figuring out. Okay, so I have this eye. Okay, so we have, let's say, left eye. Screen left. Sorry, guys, right eye. Its right eye is here, but then I also have. Where'd it go? I also have left eye, but I also have this one in here. I probably should have guided it to make sure that it doesn't actually show up and actually render. But oh well. Yeah, so I did it this way because Flash only lets you edit so many different things at once. If you go inside of a symbol, you're not able to select and interact with a different symbol. Like I can't play with this neck here or anything else. I can't edit anything else, which is good and bad. The bad is that I can't, if I want to move, if I want to do a blink or like move both eyes at the same time, you can't. So I did it this way to make sure that my timings of the blinks and everything kind of worked out. And so I can see it in real time. Because if I open both of these and say, what's the other eye doing? I literally don't know. I cannot see it in real time to see what the other eye here. This eye on the left, I can't see what it's doing as the left eye, this eye that I'm editing is actually doing. So it's like, So I eventually just got so fed up with it that I copy and pasted the other eye into the eye, and then I can kind of see it at the same time. But I still can't really edit both at the same time. So that's just a limitation that I was so into it that it's like I had to be this certain way with these puppets to animate it. That now I know an easier way of method of doing this is that you just go ahead and just explode them on the timeline. If I have this eye, you can distribute the layers. You kind of get a little bit messed up. But then you go ahead and distribute the layers. Whoop. Maybe it's not actually... No, it should be getting all those. I don't know why it's actually not working here. Maybe break apart first and then distribute. That's it. Okay. Duh. So you get a taller timeline of a whole bunch of more layers. You can imagine like twice as many for both eyes. But whoops, now you can, you know, let's see if I can select this eye, break apart, distribute the layers. You get a taller timeline like this. But benefit is that now you can go in, select your stuff, and try to select them both. And then now you can move them at the same time and then animate it. Much more to your heart's content of like being able to select both of them. If I didn't do it this way, I wouldn't be able to move in this sort of orientation like this. Wouldn't be able to select both eyes at the same time and actually animate it. Because they're locked inside of a symbol. Toon Boom doesn't exactly have they have quote symbols, but not in the same way. So the symbols in Toon Boom are like a little bit, they're different. They mean something else. But yeah, mostly in Toon Boom you see like how I'm able to animate a little bit more effectively. But yeah, I just saw like there in Toon Boom, Toy Story and Blink, where like they kind of were offset by a frame. So hopefully that doesn't happen too much often, but yeah. Much more. Okay. The rest of this is kind of straightforward. I think it just kind of definitely repeats itself a lot. So how are we doing? There's still like probably like another 100 or so animations that I won't be able to get to today. Because we've only got through like, in total between all of our anniversary videos, we've only got through like 20, 30 or so. And I skipped a couple. I still have like a lot more animations. Maybe this is intentional because I'm seeing more blinks like that. I love the catalog. Oh, there's like visual gags I can do, you know? That's like, how do you visualize, like, oh, he talks about a catalog, like, ooh, let's... Oh, he doesn't even talk about, like, let's see, what do we got? And so it could have been a lot more visually, like, just straightforward, of like, oh, it just kind of goes into the hardware store and then says, like, ooh, what do we got here? And he bounces around and, like, here's the thing. Touch the thing. Look at that thing. And it's like, would have been a lot of work. Or you just kind of do it this way, where it's like, picks up the catalog and then reads aloud all of it, and then the Griffin's like, what? It's all the paper shakers. Yeah, at the bottom I had to manually type out all of the generators, all the words to get the lyrics, so I could get the timing as well of the shots. Like the shot changes as he says "I" right there. I think this was obviously the most time-consuming section. Look at all that stuff. Oh. Where are we? It's a little hard to navigate when you don't know. So, would you look at all that stuff? So I animated this. You can see every frame there, and if you slow it down, it actually does make sense. Rubber mallets, fans, and dehumidifiers, you know. So it's a close approximation, but you put it all together and it does work. So it's not like a random thing. It's actually like does like make sense. Hoofs and tackled grout spackle. What is that? Power foggers, spoons, and ladles. So yeah, it does make sense. If you slow it down, it's like it actually does fit as best as I could. But this goes on for like 20 seconds or more. Oof. Yeah. It actually didn't take too long. I mean, I work on these like I'm in high school during this time. Way back when, 7 years ago. So I must have just come home from school and it was like, let's animate. Finish homework. Let's get all this done. And it's like, let's go in here and make these horse move. I'm probably just getting really into it. It's like I'm gonna do this section and then just animate it. I think I did it in one like sitting. It's not like it took like, you know, that didn't take like weeks or anything. Just kind of sit there and like give me a couple hours and I'll get it. It was just kind of just scrubbing through it and saying like where to if he does an S sound and you put the S mouth shape and just kind of move on the next one, and it's like, oh, he's doing it, ooh, wow, and you know, figured out what shapes there are. So I got pretty efficient, and then it's like I don't know what else to do, so I just kind of just hang out. And the whole story was like they can't wait till they get into the hardware store, so they never actually get inside the hardware store. That's what I interpreted. It's like I can't wait till I get to the hardware store. I can't. Yeah. Yes, I'm going. I'm going. Yes, I'm going. I'm going to the really going to the going to the hard. Oh yes, I'm going to to the hardware store. So he's just going to the hardware store. He's like he's here, but yeah, he's not actually going inside it. My whole thing was that it's actually not open yet. That's right. They're still actually constructing it. It's that this guy is actually still like putting the final touches on it. It's not actually open yet. I probably could have done like a closed or like, is there like a we're almost ready sign, or I could have done something like that to make it a little more obvious. But that was my intention, was like they're just going to the hardware store, like not actually, you know, actually go and visit it. You're just visiting. But it was much easier to animate as well, as if they just kind of stand outside and have different poses out there. So they're just going, you know, they're just gonna peruse and be like, wow, there's a lot of stuff at this hardware store. It's like, wow. Oh, there's the fishing. Yay. and then mystery one. Okay. Okay, that's all the ones that I had queued up, and that was a lot. And maybe let's see how far we got. Let's see. So we did all of these. I skipped a few of these because I literally can't find the files for them. And I know that I've already talked about the best burrito in older stream. That's what it is, yeah. Luna's Adventures in Jam and Space was the Doctor Who Adventures in Time and Space. Just for the title. It has nothing to do with Doctor Who at all, does it? Side project slideshow. This was a weird one. I didn't really intend it to be like an actual video. It's more just like me goofing around. Not actually making a story. It's the least narrative story, if we can think about it that way. Is that it's just a bunch of different... we can watch it real quick. But if you want to watch all the other videos, they're in the description. Yeah, so they're just different little tests and stuff. Oh, there's Paper Mario before the Paper Mario series. Yeah. Just a bunch of different pictures and stuff. Derpy Escape. Yeah, I probably could have talked about that the entire stream. Of how much not great of a reception that got. Ooh. Basically Sona, it was a high school German project. I was either in German 1 or 2, and it wasn't a final project like usually these are. It was like listening to it in class and being like, this is a fun song. And it's like, oh, it's about the sun. I know what character in Pony that's the sun. And wouldn't it be fun if they were like little stick figures and then all the concepts of it. Star Pony Adventures. That's a good name. Good job, B. That's a good name. Yankee Doodle Derpy. I think I might have talked about it in some cases, but yeah. I skipped some of these because I didn't have much really actually say or much to talk about with them. Grand Celebration was my 1,000 subscriber special, which thank you so much for 20,000. Thank you so much. But yeah, this was just a little fun one to be like, they get a delivery from Derpy in that. This was fun. This was like the most. I guess I had a lot more muffins in older videos. It's because I had to do all the obligatory Derpy muffin videos, and then I could have fun with my more branching out, the paper Derpy videos later on. All these ones we talked about, we ended on that. Special Derpy Day, these were fun. Yeah, I like the more nonsensical ones. I definitely back then like these early videos because I knew that I didn't have much of an audience, but it's like it still gets attention. So it's like I still have to put effort into it, and so just like complete like just made this in 5 minutes. Here's a video, whatever. Like I'm putting effort into a lot of these. All these have tremendous amount of effort into each one of these, so I'm just glad when some of these kind of get viral, and then ones that I'm also passionate about don't, and it's like I might have spent more time on the Doctor Who series and they got nothing. So yeah. Every day was, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say that these were the more fun, nonsensical ones. Because nowadays I'm like overly critical and know that I have an audience to some degree, and I myself matured in a way that I want to make sure that I storyboard them and make sure that I measure 3 times before I put it out there, and make sure that is this correct? Is this anatomically correct? Does this make sense? Is this parallax? Does it need how many filters do I need? I overproduced them to the point that's like they're nearly flawless, and it's like it's kind of fun to go back to these, and it's like these are so spontaneous, and it's like have a lot more you know, spontaneity compared to my new ones. Even Derpy Test was pretty spontaneous. It only had like a couple brief plot synopsis before I really got into it. It was just the fun of like trying to figure out how to make a story out of a lot of this. Yeah. So probably like next year around the same time. Maybe on the 12th to actually be on the right day. April 12th, 2023. We'll go through a couple of these then. So yeah. And of course, if you want to watch any of these, obviously you're in the right place. All you gotta do is click on the little, what is it? Put like me face, or you know how to get there. There's plenty of content for you. This isn't scratching the surface. Like this just keeps going. Ah, jeez. We're still going. We're getting into this era. A couple more. Get into some streams. And then some of these current streams, and there we are. So yeah. If you want to do a marathon, be my guest. Yeah. Hopefully you guys just don't watch, you know, Derpy Test and be like, wow, this channel is either good or bad. You know, I have a breadth of a lot of different videos, a lot of different types. So I hope there's something for everyone. So a lot of different types. I would have been with you for half your time on YouTube. You chose then I would have been modded for 5. Wow, that's crazy to think about. Well, I super appreciate you guys, especially Star. I don't know why I started with everyone else first. Thank you, Star, and everyone else, and other mods, Cookie and Legit. Thank you. Let me go to Toast Time to make it more. Got some cha-cha, but yeah. And I'm still going. It's also the fun part is that I'm still making, still working on the movie, and next chapter, chapter 7 is it's gonna be a doozy. I'm storyboarding it, and it's like I have so many ideas. That's like my first initial storyboard was like so bare bones. That's like I want to really juice it up and like put a bunch of muscle on it and be like way more ideas. I'm having to like redo a lot of chapter 8's ending, well, just the ending of it. So that's also taking up a lot of planning. So you can already tell, like, you know, from what we watched today to like my Derpy movie, it's like I'm gonna, you know, just sit down. You know, back then, the videos we watched, it was like I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna have my laptop, I'm gonna hope it doesn't explode, and then work for a couple hours and be like, yeah, here's a video, haha, time to put it on the wall, woohoo, and be like, yep, that's done. Compared to now, where it's like, if I don't have a complete storyboard that's, you know, set up, you know, I can't animate, you know, I gotta make sure I have a background, and then does that background actually work? It's so much more overproduction, but yeah. A lot more planning is involved, but I think the new ones have, I think, more nuance, a lot more layered jokes to it, or a lot more payoffs as well. Because with the older ones, it was just like much more of a gag comedy of like, here's a thing, set up, joke, set up, joke, set up, joke. Now it's like set up, and then you get a payoff, and then another like but that payoff recoils into another joke, and it kind of tumbles into this following the snowball, and it's like it becomes like these interwoven different jokes that then become a larger joke, and then that becomes like a payoff, and it's like that's more a little bit more fun and rewarding. So I'm definitely still having fun with it. I think I'm having as much fun as I was 9 years ago. None of that spark from, you know, the joy of making and creating videos and having fun with you guys. None of that is left. I'm still having fun and obviously still being active with you guys. Obviously still trying to talk and reach out to you guys as much as I can. It's just that right now, you know, my time is being pulled in different directions of doing my full-time job and then trying to do these streams as you know, as much as I can, while also making sure that I get my own time to rest. So, but yeah, I super appreciate you guys again, and want to be here, as thriving as I probably would be. So, got a lot of thanks from you guys. Thank you. I'm sorry my throat is so gone. My brain is just as gone as my throat. Hang on. In that case, I think we'll end it here then. If anything else, so when's the next event? I guess the next event would be Easter. Oh no, I'll let you know if you. Well, actually, I won't be. Yeah, I'll be with family on Easter, so I won't be at my computer. So it'd be hard to do a stream. So might be some other day. I don't know where I'll be on Saturday. So yeah, this is where it becomes logistically problem. I'm trying to figure out like when can I stream. A little more tricky. Let's see. That's what it would be. Worked out for 5 years as well as the next year. Yeah, the hope is that I try and finish 7 and 8 to complete the story by the end of the year. And then the director's cut, who knows how long that'll be. That might be like a month or so at best. Could be like 2 or 3 months to get the director's cut. We'll have to like redo a third, 2/3 from scratch for a lot of the shots, and then clean up a lot of the other ones. So that's gonna be a huge project once everything's still done. So yeah, probably the whole movie itself as a whole probably won't be done until probably like a year from today. It's probably when it'll probably be done. But now the future itself is hard to predict, so I'm not sure. You know, it's hard to gauge now because I don't have any kind of precedence of like, because before I'd be able to work on a video, you know, work on this for like 8 to 12 hours a day if I wanted, and now on a weekend or a weekday, like on a weekday, I wouldn't be able to really work for. I would only be able to work for me like 4 or 5 hours at best. So that how like dramatically decreases how much time I have to work on, how much time I have in a day to actually work on this. So, and because I'm also having to redo a whole bunch of stuff, means a lot more time to set things up and think things out carefully, plan it out a lot more. So yeah, it's gonna be might be a little while before 7's done. Yeah. That'll be an MLB Hardcore channel. Yes. Derpy movie will be the final main MLB project. Yes. And the Christmas episode from a couple years ago, that was the last main Derpy episode. So yeah, start working on that original IP to be ready for switch over. I've already started to look back into visual coding in Unity. I want to change my comic into a game to make it into a point and click game. So, do I have snuffles or something? I think my nose is really stuffed up. Ugh. Sorry. I think doing a comic is actually hindering me as a medium, and I want to do it in a way that I'll have fun with. So I think having to be a fun visual, not a visual novel, but like a nice Freddy Fish kind of style, one of those, Monkey Island. Not as complicated as Monkey Island, probably more preschooly fun. Something like that. So that's what I'm gisting towards. But yeah, I'll definitely still be in the LP fandom. Gen 5 is fun. I watched a couple of the Tell Your Tales. I haven't watched all of them, so it's hard to get a series overview. But from what I've seen, it's it is different from Pony Life, so I'll give it that. But yeah, I'll have to get a review later on once I watch a little bit more of it. Because only watching like 10 minutes of something is really hard to get any semblance of what it is. Anyway, let's get going. Yeah, thank you. What I don't think I'm capable of. Okay. I think I'll end it here, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you again for 9 years and 1 day. Today's like the day after the anniversary, so yeah. But thank you again. Doing this is always so fun, so much fun, and being able to read your comments and reactions are always, excuse me, always super fun. Sorry, I'm getting actually kind of sick right now. I think I'm just really stuffy. So I'm trying to pull through it. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Thank you, Ben. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna work on 7. I'm gonna work on more little tiny projects and learn how to code or visual scripting. Because I don't know how to code. And I like nodes. Nodes are fun. They're like noodles. Anyway, yep. Thank you guys. All right. New song. Okay. Oh well. Thank you guys again. All right. Bye bye. See you. I don't know when. Sorry. We'll be back. In time. Okay. Bye bye.